Let's talk Copa del Rey, Ancelotti, and El Cholo Simeone. Welcome to another recap. What are we thinking about the Real Madrid versus Barcelona Real Madrid final?
And I'm thinking we're not ready for it.
What do you mean you're not ready for it, Manny? You're the almighty Real Madrid, the ones that never lose a final.
And I'm not too confident in Ancelotti, if I'm being honest.
Tell me why.
No, his substitutions, it's just we play we're just playing free football, no tactics. Like it's hard to win that way.
But Madrid fans and people from the soccer world have always known that Ancelotti is not a tactical guy. He's more of a locker room guy. Do you think that because you guys have won, in the last years, that's kept them into place?
Yeah, definitely, you see all these trophies coming in and you're just thinking he must be doing a good job, but man, lately I've been questioning his decisions.
What decisions do you mostly question?
Why is Vasquez starting at right back in a semifinal where you could be going home? You're only up by one goal.
Hey, that was a very tight game. Once Madrid scored, by the way, that goal from Endrick was class, brother. Like, I am the first one. Look, I don't think Endrick is going to be as great as Lamine, okay? But I think he's going to be a really good player. And that goal was class. The way Speedy used to beat the defender, obviously that ball from Vinicius was, oh my gosh, amazing. But Endrick's composure and finish over the goalie, which I think the goalie had a lot to do with that goal because the goalie should have been out, especially because Real Sociedad was playing a high line. But overall, that goal was amazing. Why do you think Ancelotti subbed him out?
I feel like Ancelotti just felt like he needed to play Mbappe. It doesn't matter how good Endrick was doing. Rodrigo was real quiet. Vinny didn't have the best first half, but he was like, Mbappe needs to be out there, and Endrick is the young guy, the kid. So I guess he felt that he's the one that had to go.
I think that's what's hurting Ancelotti a lot because right now, if you see the top clubs, they all have benches, and Real Madrid has names, but the players aren't really proven. Players like Endrick, players like Arda. Who else do you have on your bench? Who's a defender that's never gotten an opportunity?
Vallejo?
Vallejo, you got Vallejo, and then I don't know who else you have in your bench. Sometimes you have Camavinga in there, which Camavinga is the only proven player, but outside of that, you don't have any proven bench players that can come in and add to the team. Does that kind of like not scare you, but it's kind of like, hey, Ancelotti, you had chances to sub all these players in, give them more game time, get them used to, what it is to play top football, and you decided not to. Now you're coming into a final with Barcelona that it seems like whoever plays doesn't subtract to the team and adds to the team.
Yeah, I just don't think they've had enough chances to prove themselves. Arda gets what 5 minutes, and if he makes a mistake, he Ancelotti probably won't play him for another 5 matches. So I feel like he really limits them. Play them in a little bit earlier, let them get matches against the weaker teams. And like build confidence in them.
And I think that's something that Ancelotti has been lacking, building that bench, giving them that confidence to come in. Obviously, you have injuries like Ceballos and Militao, but I know, and Carvajal, which is the most important injury Madrid has. But you're right. I don't think you can play, what's his name, Lucas as a right back, especially because, he gets lost. And you know what? You might not like this take, but I think the more Asensio plays, the more average he looks.
I think he was the best defender from the starting lineup, but it wasn't his best performance. But he hasn't shown me anything that's making me lose confidence in him.
The thing is that about the high level, like a Madrid, a Barcelona, any big club, you can be really good. You just can't be really good at times. You have to be really good consistently.
Yeah.
And that obviously Sergio hasn't had enough games to where you're like, oh, yeah, this guy's he's a bust. He's just hype. No, he doesn't have enough games under his belt yet. But the more he plays, the more I'm like, okay, he's a pretty average player. He does have speed, which helps him out a lot. But outside of that, I mean, I think he's been a pretty average player to me, which is not bad because honestly, sometimes you just need some average players that are going to work very hard in the team. Not everybody can be a superstar.
Yeah, I mean, not every defender is Sergio Ramos, but He does a pretty
He's
good
great.
job, with the slide tackles. He tries to not foul. He doesn't concede many cards. And that pace is it's next level. So he's a really
Yeah.
fast player. And
The
I
pace
think,
is
just
very fierce.
he needs some time to adapt to like first division soccer. La Liga is a very tough league. I don't think it's as easy as other people make it seem. And there was one play in particular during the game where he took off up the middle and just showing off that pace. But you could see that the decision making in the final third isn't there. He needs some time. He's still
Right,
young.
right. Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different level from, being in the inferiores to stepping up to the big league, especially in a big team. Now, for a good time, Ancelotti was improving players. Why is it that he no longer can improve those players? Is it his tactics? Is it he's just done? What do you guys think?
I think he's just a real stubborn man. It's like he's just gonna keep trying what he's been trying until it works. Like he's not gonna adapt to anything.
Okay, now talking about coaches, El Cholo Simeone. Okay, I'm not an Athletic Madrid fan. You're not an Atletico Madrid fan. I don't understand it. They have a good team. I think they have a team to compete against Barça or Madrid, you know, but it seems that when it comes to that time to get that knockout punch, they're always, they're always shy. They're always one step behind. Does El Cholo need to go? And does Atleti need to bring a new coach, especially after that investment that they did at the beginning of the year?
I think it is time to get some new tactics in there. A new voice in the locker room. I questioned it immediately. You've proved that you can score goals. You prove that you can go toe to toe with with the best teams in the world. Why are you starting five in the back when you're tied up? You need to score. Like that was
Correct.
my first question.
El Cholo Simeone, he's a very defensive coach. It's not like Mourinho where you park the bus and you counter, but like he's more defensive geared coach. But like you're saying, you're in a semifinals where you have to score goals to win. Score a goal and then go back. But you're always going to start, letting the other team come at you. It's like, for example, to me, for when a boxer, you're being very defensive, but your defense is the offensive boxer is better than your defense. They're gonna punch you, punch it, punch it, punch it, get you tired, get you tired, get you tired. Eventually, some shots are gonna go in, just like the game. One goal from Ferran Torres, by the way, Lamin's pass, phenomenal. At 17, brother, that is phenomenal,
No, that kid's got a bright future ahead of him. Definitely.
dude. He was clowning that team. Like sometimes I'm like, was that really necessary? But the pass was good. No, it's not like he was doing unnecessary things where it's like it ends up where you lose the ball or the pass is not good. But I was like, damn, dude, like this guy's clowning a team, a grown team when this kid's 17 years old.
He didn't score or anything, but he was definitely the best player last night.
I agree. I agree. I mean, that pass was beautiful, which Ferran did a great run and he scored the goal. Obviously, now we have a Barça versus Madrid, Madrid versus Barça at the final in what is Sevilla? Is it? Yeah, Sevilla. It's gonna be in Sevilla. How does Madrid fans, how does Manny feel about that final?
I think we're all expecting to lose, if I'm being honest.
Expecting to lose?
I think so.
Why?
Barcelona under Flick has been arguably the best team in Europe, and Madrid this season just has not had it.
But Madrid has the big players. Madrid has the Vinicius, the Mbappe, the Rodrigo, the Valverde.
Yeah, but there's nobody directing the show. It's just go out there and have fun. Like that's all he tells them.
Sunday league football, right? You call somebody the coach, but it's not really a coach. This is the guy that just can't play no more.
Right, he's just there to give them some water and pep talk them.
What do you think? I mean, overall, obviously, we do see that Barcelona's coming in as a better team, but historically, before when Barcelona has been coming in as the better informed team, they've lost both finals. The second final was against, I mean, obviously Madrid, but it was where Bale outran Barta. Do you
That's
remember
one of
that?
Bale's
Yeah.
most iconic goals.
It was one of exactly right. I mean, I think Pinto did a horrible job too trying to block that, but that's for another day. What scoreline do you give that match? Obviously, we're going to talk about this another, closer to the match, but what scoreline as in right now do you give that match?
I think it'll be 2-1 Barcelona's favor.
It's not going to be a blowout like the other games. It's going to be more of a serious game.
Hope so, man. We cannot get embarrassed by Barca again.
If hypothetically speaking, if Barca scores 5 goals the next day, what happens to Ancelotti?
I mean, you got to keep him until the summer window, but I think all confidence is gone after that. Like, there's no point of return.
There's no point. Let's look for somebody else. Who would be your ideal replacement for Ancelotti?
A great Madrid player, Xavi Alonso. That's who I want.
Do you think Madrid has the players, or how many players would he have to bring in to be able to play Xavi Alonso ball, aka Pep Guardiola ball?
I think they just got to bring in a new left back. You got Trent coming in, amazing wing back, and then you just need somebody down there helping Vinicius get the ball out.
Well, I mean, you can probably get a left back. You probably get a left back. You get some couple midfielders, somebody that players that can actually play the ball, and I think you can potentially play Xavi Alonso ball, where it's going to be explosive and it's going to be fun, and that I'm all forward to for it to be fun and some good matches between Barca and Madrid and Barca. Manny, any last words before we sign off?
Man, I just hope Barca doesn't kill us. We got to get some goals.
All right, all right. Well, hopefully you enjoy this. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Share it to anybody that loves football. Let us know if our ball knowledge is zero or are we freaking heroes. Subscribe, and see you here next episode.